Hi folks, today we're going to be taking a look at some of those techie items around the house that make life a little bit easier, and in some cases these are items that I really wouldn't want to live without. Now I'm going to try and stay clear from really obvious things like TVs and computers in the hope that you might discover something to help you out and you can add to your everyday tech setup. And of course I've linked absolutely everything down in the description if you want to check them out later on. Let's go. So what tech do I tend to use about my house most days? Let's start with mornings. And the first thing I do is take my phone off the wireless charger. This one is from Nomad and it includes enough coils for both a phone, AirPods and a watch to charge all at the same time. Now, while we're on the watch, this strap is also from Nomad and that fits my Series 7 beautifully. I like to keep this bedside table relatively clear from clutter, and having one cable that feeds up to charge all these devices is really handy. So I use this little rubber sticky cable tied around the back of the drawers here, which helps with managing any other cables that I have. This other one here is for our video baby monitor. Now, talking of babies, we have two young children, one of which doesn't particularly enjoy sleep at the moment, so we treated ourselves a little while ago to a proper bean to cup coffee machine. And you know what, I'm a little bit embarrassed to talk about this one because I'm from Yorkshire in the UK, and one of the things that Yorkshire is famous for is tea. And yes, I do drink tea, Yorkshire tea of course, except no substitutes, but sometimes in the mornings, if you're a little bit sleep deprived, you just need something a little bit more hardcore. Enter the Sage Barista Touch. Now, we've had pod-based coffee machines in the past from the likes of Tassimo and Nespresso, but we thought it was time to level up our coffee making game so that we could get a cafe quality coffee whenever we needed it. And the cool thing about this machine is how easy it is to use for a coffee making newbie. Now, the whole screen guides you through your coffee making and also how to dial in your beans. So we use a brand called Roost who roast their beans in nearby Malton, and we find this is a really nice balanced blend that works well for espressos and also milky coffees alike. And over time we've leveled this up with some accessories. This dosing cup is a really nice way to avoid any mess when you're getting the grounds into the group head, and also this little combo distributor and tamper is another cool thing to have on hand that just makes things super simple and really keeps the whole operation quite clean when you're making coffee. So while we're here in the kitchen, a couple of other items that are worth mentioning. Now, I've been busy trying to convert all of the bulbs in our house to Philips Hue bulbs. They are not cheap, so it's taking a little while. And I like to pair them with these little wireless sticky pads that allow you to program different effects and commands on them, and then also group different lights together. So in our living room, for example, I've set it up so that the first press only turns on these table lamps and another which turns on the big light. So it's really nice to be able to customize these however you want, and then to be able to link them to whatever voice command genie you prefer using. And then next to the coffee machine, we can see a Sonos One speaker. This is one of several Sonos speakers we have in the house. We have a Sonos Beam under the TV too. Now, the sound quality from these is exceptional, especially this little Sonos One, which absolutely fills our kitchen, even on like mid-range volume. And it's all integrated with the usual voice activation services, so you can summon music, apps, all kinds of content which the kids absolutely love. So what I really like about these Sonos speakers is how you can have them playing independently, or you can link them via the app so that every single Sonos speaker in the house is playing the same content. Really cool. So if we move into the office, please excuse the mess, you'll see we've got a couple of computers set up. I've got a work and a personal setup going on. I'm going to be changing this soon, so if you want to see what changes we've got planned and how we implement them, make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon so you don't miss out. Anyway, I promised I wasn't going to talk about computers, so what's going on in here that I did want to share with you. Now, of course, most of us are kind of between cables at the moment. There was this big promise of USB-C ruling everything, but the reality is most of us are flicking between lightning cables, micro USB, HDMI, USB-C, you name it. It hasn't quite happened yet, right? So there is a big move to USB-C in general, but a lot of my devices that need charging, like this big portable battery pack, take micro USB, and then plenty of Apple devices still need a lightning connector. So this solution from Nomad is a great way to cover all bases with a single cable. And this is their USB-A universal cable, and it comes in this super durable material which is reinforced with double braided Kevlar. Yes, that's the kind of Kevlar that you use in bulletproof vests. So it only takes up one USB-A spot around the back of this aging iMac, but then lets me charge any of these three inputs by switching these little adapters around. So I find this so helpful. I'm going to get another one just so I can carry it with me on the go. And then in here it can get quite warm with both machines running, so I do have a fan. This particular model is actually out of production now, but it's the Dyson Pure Cool air purifier and fan. It's quite imposing and quite a bold design, and I quite like having it on in the background when when I'm on Zoom calls. It's something a bit more interesting to look at than just a bookshelf. And yes, it has this cute little magnetic remote control too. And as with most Dyson things, it's over-engineered to the point of absurdity. But it's a connected fan that means you can customize via an app how often it comes on and off and what it does. So this one also does air purification as well as air cooling. Now, every now and again, if I have it on and I'm making something a bit smoky or smelly in the kitchen, I will hear it kind of kick in and come on, and it kind of sucks in all the different smoke and smells. It's a really clever bit of kit, if a little bit overpriced. And then finally in here, this year I've added a number of MagSafe compatible devices into my everyday carry, including an iPhone Pro Max, an iPhone Mini, and also most recently the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. So this little MagSafe compatible desk stand from Nomad is great to be able to charge all these devices up quickly, and crikey, it weighs a ton, crafted from a single block of zinc alloy. So once the device is on here, it is going absolutely nowhere. So I like to have it on in landscape orientation with the phones in case I want to use it to frame up a FaceTime call, but of course you can have it any way you like. So one more thing I did want to share, I actually made a full review of this device a little while ago. You can check that out up here. This is the Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition. Now, I don't often get time for gaming, but it's nice to be able to have the option not to have to take over our living room and commandeer our TV when there might be others who don't want to see me swinging around New York as Miles Morales. This is a great little device for taking your next-gen gaming wherever you want with you. So there we have it, a bunch of tech items I genuinely use most days around the house that make life a little bit more awesome. Now, if you're interested in checking any of these items out, I have left links in the description below, some of which are affiliated. And if you enjoyed this one, do be kind, press the like button, it really does help the channel out. And if you'd like to see more like this, maybe even a cheeky subscribe. I'll see you next time.